Her broke up. She moved in with a guy, and he tried to mess with her.
And all I know is his first name's Sam. They said we told her it was a bad deal with him.
Because he's telling me if the cops get behind him, he's going to run into a tree.
They're turning westbound on Lee.
Central 166, be advised. It's their grandfather in the car, and he called them saying that he's possibly going to try to crash the car.
On February 13th, 2023, 60-year-old Elen Gowan finished her shift at Sugar's Diner, a place she'd worked at for years. Elen was known by coworkers as dependable, soft-spoken, and old-fashioned, the kind of person who preferred phone calls over texting and never disappeared without telling someone where she was going. That morning, she sent a simple message to her daughter. She said she was heading out to pick up some belongings and would be back soon. She never came back. CCTV footage would later capture Elen leaving the diner carrying a briefcase, the last confirmed image of her alive. Hours passed, then the entire day, Elen failed to return for her next shift. The owner of Sugar's Diner, Megan, immediately felt something was wrong. Elen had never missed work without calling. Megan began texting her repeatedly, growing more frantic by the hour. Finally, one message came through. "Leave me alone. I'm done." It didn't sound like Elen at all. The next day, Elen's daughter reported her missing to the Council Bluffs Police Department. Detectives launched an investigation, initially unsure if this was a voluntary disappearance or something far worse. As officers dug into Elen's personal life, they discovered something troubling. Just 1 week earlier, Elen had broken up with her longtime boyfriend, Sam Brammer. After the breakup, she had temporarily moved in with a co-worker and friend named Mike Brockman. But according to Elen's family, that living situation hadn't been safe. Friends told police that Elen had confided in them, claiming Mike had behaved inappropriately, even assaulted her while she stayed at his home. If true, it would explain why Elen left suddenly and why she might have turned back to Sam despite their troubled past. Both men immediately became persons of interest. Detectives first brought in Mike Brockman. Mike admitted that Elen had stayed at his house for a few days after being kicked out of her apartment. He claimed their relationship was strictly platonic. No romance, no intimacy. But then came the contradictions. Friends of Elen told police she had said Mike had climbed into bed with her and spooned her while she slept, something Mike denied. He admitted hugging her once, but insisted nothing more had happened. With no physical evidence, police couldn't hold Mike, but the unease lingered. Next, detectives turned their attention to Sam Brammer. From the moment Sam sat down in the interrogation room, something fell off. Before detectives even suggested that Elen might be dead, Sam said something chilling. "You said I was the last person to see her alive." The detective hadn't said that. Elen had only been missing for less than 48 hours. Yet Sam was already speaking in past tense. Sam claimed Elen texted him that morning asking for a ride. According to him, she didn't want co-workers to know they were back together, so he picked her up quietly and drove her to Mike's house to collect her belongings. He insisted he dropped her off, watched her walk away, and never saw her again. It sounded believable until police reviewed the cameras. After nearly 2 days of collecting surveillance footage from across the city, detectives reconstructed Sam's movements minute by minute. At 8:30 a.m., Sam picked Elen up from Sugar's Diner. At 9 o'clock, they stopped at her mother's apartment, where Elen was seen carrying out a safe, later confirmed to contain $11,200 in cash, intended as a down payment for a new apartment. At 9:30, they arrived at the Sherwood apartment complex, but it was closed. And that's where Sam's story fell apart. From 9:45 to 10:30, Sam's truck was seen driving aimlessly across town, making loops, stopping briefly at Burger King, but never once heading toward Mike's house. Then, for nearly 2 hours, Sam's truck disappeared completely from all cameras. At 1 p.m., it reappeared. Elen was no longer with him. Sam eventually returned home alone. Detectives were stunned. Not only had Sam lied, he had done so repeatedly, confidently, and in detail. The next day, police brought Sam back in. This time, his story began to unravel in real time. He changed timelines. He contradicted himself. He confused locations. Even when confronted with video evidence proving he was nowhere near Mike's house, Sam doubled down. insisting the cameras were wrong. But cameras don't lie. Sam did. What detectives didn't yet know was that this interview would ignite a months-long nightmare, involving a high-speed chase, chilling discoveries, and a body found abandoned on the side of a rural road. 13 days after Elen Gowan vanished, a 911 call came in. A passerby had found a body. By then, the case was no longer about a missing woman. It was about murder. And the truth behind Elen's final hours would prove far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined.